Hey Click Designers! In this video, I'll show you how you can make professional-looking pricing tables for your websites to get more sales and conversions, just like what you see here on the screen. We'll be using ClickDesigns Done For You pricing table templates, and I'll show you how fast we can make one without any HTML know-how or technical skills. Let's get started! First, log into your ClickDesigns account and then click on Templates. Right after that, let's go ahead and scroll to the right, and then let's click on the Funnels menu, and then under Funnels, click on the Pricing Tables submenu. Here you will see different templates of pricing tables that you could choose from. Let's go ahead and click on this one. Let's click Preview. If you like the way it looks like, then let's exit the preview and then let's hover over it, then click on Use Template. Let's type in our design title, then click on Continue. First, let's add a background color for this one so that we could see all the changes that we will be making. Let's choose a white background. And then let's click on this shape. Let's change the color of this shape to a little bit shade of light blue probably. Okay, let's select from the color palette and let's click on this one. Then let's change the name of the first pricing table from starter to basic. And let's make it all uppercase. Then right after that, let's go to the font family and change the font style. There you go. Align it a little bit. There. And right after that, let's change the font family or the font style of the price as well. Make it uniformed. Make it a little bit smaller. Let's type in our updated price for the basic package. There you go. And let's bold it here under the text options on the left just to make it nicer. Let's click on Duplicate to duplicate this text box. And I'm going to add a new text layer here, which is going to be per month, or my mode of payment, which is going to be recurring. I made it a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to select the two text boxes so that I can center them. And I'm going to select the third text box above and move them all across downwards. So I'm just fixing the alignment. Right after that, I'm going to remove this text box right here. And then I'm going to change my call to action button. Currently, it says Get Started Now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first change the background color. I'm going to select a new shape. Let's scroll under Shapes and then click on this pill button right here. Make it a little bit bigger so that it fits. Move it a little bit higher and move our text box as well. Let's click on Bring It Forward or Bring Forward so that we could see the text while we edit. And then we are going to align it to the center. There you go. Right after that, I am going to now change the color of my pill call to action button. Let's make it a little bit dark blue so that it matches our theme. Then I would like to change the color of this word, the per month word. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. So I'll click on my color palette and I selected that color. Let's make it light gray. Now we have different bullet points here, or the different inclusions of our pricing table or our product or our basic package. What I'm going to do is I'm going to update this one. So let's go ahead and paste our text right here. I copy this text from my notepad. Then I am going to update the font family. And now I'm just going to make it a little bit, drag it a little bit smaller. There you go. And then move the box or the text box a little bit here to the center. And I'm going to select all these check emojis or these check icons. And then I just chose one. So I deleted the rest. I just chose one, put it on the left side, selected the element, and then clicked on Align Horizontal Left. Then let me adjust this call to action button right here. Now I would like to change the color of my check emoji or my check icon. So I'm going to click that. And under the color section or the color palette on the left side, I'm going to make it a little bit of a darker color. There you go. So I'm going to now select this check emoji. I'm going to right click. And then right after that, I'm going to click on Duplicate. This easily copies the formatting and the color of my check emoji. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to repeat the process and duplicate that. And while I do that and while I align them correctly, I also have to take note of the grid lines here on my canvas. Just to make sure that everything is aligned, obviously I have to take note of the green guide as you can see here on the grid. So I will just continue repeating the process until I have all my bullet points covered. Once I'm done duplicating all my check emojis here or my check icons, I'm going to select all of them by pressing and holding the Shift key and then clicking on all the elements I would like to select. Then under the left side, I'm going to click on Align Horizontal Left. Right after that, I can now move this group or move all these elements the way I want them to and adjust the spacing. Let's zoom out the canvas a little bit and let's add a stroke option here onto the left side. So this is basically the outline of the shape of our basic package. I added that just to make it stand out a little bit more. So the next one is I want to add a shadow on my call to action button. So I'm going to tick on shadow on the left side. And then I can adjust the shadow color, the horizontal and vertical offsets as well. So let's just make some tweaks here and then let's adjust the blur of the shadow. There you go. And then let's change the color of the shadow. Next, I would like to add an X mark here in my pricing table. So under the icons option, I'm going to look for an X mark or an X emoji. I'm going to add it here in my canvas. Let's zoom it in a little bit and then make our X emoji or X image a little bit smaller. Let's put it on top of our check emoji just to make sure that they have the exact same size. Then I can replace the check marks or the check emojis with the X marks. So I'm just going to adjust the color of my X emoji or my X mark. I'm going to make it a little bit brighter red. I zoomed out a little bit so that we could see the view, a bigger view and a nicer view of our canvas. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the other check emojis with my X emoji. So I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to duplicate that and make sure that everything is aligned following our green grid lines. There you go. So I'm going to put it, and as you can see, the green lines become visible when you drag elements. We're now done with our first pricing table. We're going to zoom it out a little bit, and then we're going to work on our second pricing table. I'm going to select all the elements here on the right, highlight them and delete them. And I'm going to select all the elements here on the left, highlight them, and then click on duplicate. So as you can see, it was super quick. We just highlighted all the elements of our basic pricing table. We duplicated that, and then now we have our next pricing table. Now we can customize it. Let's type in Pro and then select the uppercase option for the font. Next, it's time to update the price. We're going to type in $49.99, and then let's make it yearly. There you go. And now it's time to modify all the features or all the bullets right here. So what I did was I pasted the text from my notepad. I selected that text box and then I pasted the text from my notepad. Now I want to change the background of my Pro pricing table. I made it dark blue, a little bit darker blue, and my pale call to action button, I changed it into white, and the Get Started Now font, I changed it into blue, very similar to the background of the Pro pricing table. And let's change the font color of this one just to make it stand out a little bit more. After that, I'm going to update these emojis. So I'm going to change the color of these. So I'm selecting all of these check and X marks. I just left one check mark and I'm going to select that and change the color. So I'm going to make it a little bit white. There you go. And this is how the check mark appears. So I'm going to repeat the process and duplicate everything, all the check emojis, and then I'm also going to follow the guide or the green grid lines here on my canvas. After placing my last emoji here or my last check mark at the bottom following the grid lines, I'm going to select all these ticks or these check emojis just to make sure that I select everything. I'm going to do it one by one. And then right after that, I'm going to click on Align Horizontal Left to make sure that all the check marks are correctly aligned to the left side. And I am going to select a color. There you go, just to update that color of our pricing table and make some final touches. Basically, I'm going to select everything here, move all the elements to the left side, because if we have more space on the canvas, we can click on Resize and make our canvas size or width smaller. Click on Resize Canvas. There you go. This is entirely optional because it really depends on you what type of canvas size you like. Right after that, I'm going to select everything again and make it and move it a little bit here to the center of my canvas. Now that I'm done, I can click on this Export tab and then click on the Export button to download my pricing table into my local drive in PNG format with a DPI of 96. Right after downloading, I can click on Save, and then after clicking on Save to ensure that my design has been saved, I can now click on Exit to go back to my dashboard and view all the designs that I've created there. See how easy that was? That's how you can quickly customize your own high-converting pricing tables for your website using the done-for-you templates of ClickDesigns in minutes. Go ahead and make one yourself. Happy click designing!